That sounds good. We will make sure and do that. Awesome, awesome. Well, welcome. Folks are starting to come in the room. Welcome to our Win More Realtor Referrals presentation. Is going to be an awesome class. You guys are going to have a ton of fun. Todd, it was so awesome seeing you and watching you speak yesterday in front of a room full of realtors. You always enjoy that, don't you?
I do. And it was a little different yesterday, right? It was an international investing conference, I guess you would call it, right? Former number one RE/MAX agent in the world was the headline speaker, and I got to be the opening speaker. And it was only odd because I sat in that chair, like I was interviewed, like I was talking to Oprah. And I'm used to be able to stand up and move my body. So that was the only interesting part, but it was a lot of fun. That was for sure. And I got really great feedback.
Yeah, I thought you did fantastic. And yeah, a fireside chat's different because, you and I are used to being able to stand and walk around and work the audience. And it's different when you're confined to that little space.
Absolutely. But it was a lot of fun. And I definitely know I learned a lot, so I can do it better the next time.
Awesome. Well, if you're just joining us, we're going to get started in just a minute with our Win More Realtor Referrals conversation presentation. So thank you for joining us. And I'll just, while we're waiting for a few more people to join, I wanted to share, Todd, as you know, I was with Mark Victor Hansen yesterday. He's, for those of you who don't know, he's the #1 best-selling author. You might know him from Chicken Soup for the Soul. If you remember that book series back in the day, he's just agreed to be our chief visionary officer at HOA.com. So we're super excited about that verbally anyway. I still have to get him the contract, but I've known him for a long time. And one of the things that he preaches is the power of asking for what you want. So we're going to be talking about a really powerful way that you can ask realtors specifically, and quite frankly, other home service pros to be your referral partners. And so we're going to be talking a lot about partnership and about adding more value to the people that you're wanting to build relationships with. And so I think you're going to learn a lot through this conversation presentation, and we'll make sure if you have any questions as we go through it, you're welcome to put those in chat, and we'll be answering those as we go along, and especially at the end. Todd, anything you want to add before we kick off?
I'm just excited, as always, Brandon, to be here with you and be able to share with what I think is the world's best industry. So it's always great to be here with a bunch of loan officers who are looking to improve and grow. And that's what it's all about in my world.
Absolutely, 100%. Well, I'll tell you what, for those of you who don't know what HOA.com is, we started this company as the Homeowner Alliance. And the mission that we're on is to connect homeowners with professionals they can trust. And what we're doing is we're building the #1 referral network for professionals who serve homeowners. We say it's like Zillow meets Nextdoor meets Angie's List, only better, reimagined, right? And so one of the things that we recognize is, especially over the last 2 years, people feel more disconnected than ever, right? They don't feel as connected as they once did. And maybe that's true for you, right? So what we're on a mission, and you see this in our tagline here, connecting communities. That's exactly what we're doing. We are creating online community pages for every neighborhood in America. And then we're looking for top quality professionals that we can partner with and promote and build this community together. And the beauty of it is not only is it online, but it's in the real world. And what I mean by that is one of the things that we do, and we're going to talk about this as we go through it, as a way to help you win more raving referrals, is that we actually help you create events, if that's something that you'd like to do, around the community. And Todd, I love this. A couple of weeks ago, we had one here in Chandler, Phoenix, Arizona, where we live, and we had about 50 people that came out. The mortgage lender and the realtor put this event on, and it was just a barbecue, and we asked people to bring their own meat. So it didn't cost much money. There's a little bit of effort to coordinate it, and then once people showed up, the kids were playing basketball. They were playing cornhole. We had a kickball game. I pulled a hammy. Spencer, who's on here, was holding his 18-month-old as he's rounding the bases, which was super fun to see. But the best part for me is, as I looked around, there were about 50 people there, and not one person was on their cell phone. So that's what we talk about when we talk about connecting communities. And Todd, just from you real quick, would you share an example of some of the impact events that some of the people that you're working with are looking to do?
My favorite one's coming up in 10 days because it's super boring, is a shredding event. And I'm like, who wants to have a shredding event? And they were like, oh, all the neighbors, because it's going to be on the 15th, which is tax day. So it's a great way to get rid of all your stuff. And what I love about it, because it's a real estate team that's partnered with my team, is the fact that there was zero cost, zero effort by anything that we had to do. They emailed the HOA to ask if it was okay to advertise it. The HOA said they've never heard from a real estate agent before. And they said, not only have we never heard from a real estate agent before, we will go ahead and post your flyer to our website, and we'll email the flyer to every resident in the community. And the best part about it was the flyer, which was put together by the title company that they've partnered up with for the community, is that it had all their information, all of the other certified pros in the community. And then, of course, really big right next to the realtor was my team's information. So they went out and promoted us. They door knocked with their kids. I mean, the excitement that they've created around this crazy shredding event, which is costing us nothing other than we're going to show up, has been phenomenal.
I just love that. So, I mean, really, guys, as you're watching this, and let me do one thing here. What if there was an easy way that you could help connect communities, that it was turnkey, pretty much done for you, and that you had something unique and different that you could share with the communities that you serve to really be that top trusted mortgage expert, and even have the HOAs promoting you and your realtors to all of the homeowners that they serve. So that's a big part of what we're doing. I'm going to share my screen and walk you through this presentation of how you win more realtor referrals. And we've got a fast, easy, simple way that you're going to be able to grow your business by helping people help people. But before we get into that, let me just show you a quick video so you get kind of an overview and an understanding of really the spirit of the organization. Check this out. We believe that home is where the heart is, and that family matters most. We believe our neighborhood is a special place to raise our kids and to live our best lives. We believe in playing outside and letting the sun recharge our soul, in helping our neighbors and celebrating success together. We believe that trust is earned and that quality is job one. We believe in getting the job done right the first time, every time. At HOA.com, we are a community of champions for homeowners. Our network of certified pros has been pre-screened so you can hire with confidence. That's why you can go to HOA.com anytime you're looking for a quality home service pro. You can rest assured your HOA.com certified pro will help make your home your castle. There you go. Always love it when the tech comes together and works. So thank you for watching that. And really the focus here is about helping you win more realtor referrals, right? So this conversation that we're going to have is for you if you want to have realtors who are excited to do business with you. And if you want to be promoted as the #1 top trusted mortgage expert in your local market. That's what we're going to be talking about. And we've got a gift for you. So if you go to HOA.com/event-check-in, Spencer will drop that in. We've got a gift. When you stay to the end, we're going to send you our referral partner blueprint. This will give you the blueprint and a lot of the strategies and scripts that we're going to teach in this conversation today. But you might be wondering, who are these guys and why should I care? Well, from my perspective, my name is Brandon Barnum. I'm the CEO of HOA.com. And for 12 years, I was doing what you're doing now. I was in the mortgage industry, started out as a loan officer, and then started my own mortgage brokerage. I got started in 1997 when I was a single dad making $20,000 a year. And I knew there had to be a better way. And so I got in the mortgage business and I had someone mentor me in the art and the science of generating raving referrals through profitable partnerships. And so in 18 months, I was able to take my income from $20,000 a year to $200,000 a year. So 10X in 18 months. And I went on to do over $500 million in transactions. Since that time, I got out of the mortgage business in 2009, and I've been building tech platforms, quite frankly, since 1997 was the first one. It was an online it was basically an early version of Zillow in my Portland, Oregon market. But since then, I built several different online platforms. HOA.com is the ninth platform I built. And my last was called Refer.com. We built that to over 5 million members, including 250,000 realtors. So I need to know a thing or two about helping people build their business by referral. And I've written the book, Raving Referrals, to help everyone win more referrals. And I am honored and proud to have Todd Bookspan as my co-host for this and partner in HOA.com. Todd?
Well, I'm always proud to be here alongside of you, and it's fun to see some familiar names who are here in attendance. But for those of you who don't know me, I'm the founder of a company called Win by Noon, and been in the mortgage industry for over 20 years. I still lead a team, although I don't actively originate loans anymore, of that's closed over $1 billion in loans over the last 9-10 years, and way more than that over my 20-year career. I do a lot in the mortgage coach community. So if you're familiar with that community, it's the largest active loan officer community that I co-founded with Dave Savage, the founder of Mortgage Coach, and love the fact that I get to be in there and teach and train as well. And we recently just put on our 4th year. We did the Modern Mortgage and Modern Real Estate Summit, which my guess is, we'll see, but probably will be the top attended mortgage event of the year, where we had Brandon was one of our people in the audience. We had 60 live people in Bradley's studio in Las Vegas. And then we had a few thousand people that were watching it virtually online. It was a lot of fun.
It was awesome, Todd. You had so many powerful people that together, I'm so curious, like the total combined production of all of the speakers. I know just one of your realtors that spoke did 3,700 transactions last year with his team. So there's so much gold. Thank you for your leadership in the industry and saying yes to HOA.com.
No, my
Todd, I
pleasure.
would love for you.
It's just great for us always to learn from those folks, right?
100%, 100%. And I would love for you to share the story of the buffalo, because I think this is so important and impactful for this time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's just a great visual for all of us while we're here together. And so kind of as you're thinking of an animal, right? An animal is a little different than us. We've got 2 feet on the ground and they have 4. And so they've got this sense of nature that we don't have, and they feel when a storm is coming. And really, it's the tale of 2 animals. You've got the buffalo who we see here, and then we've got the cow on the other side. And what happens is as they both feel the storm coming. So let's pretend they feel it coming from the north. What the cow does is the cow actually turns away from the storm and starts running away from the storm. And so what happens is, as they're running away from the storm, if you can vision it, here the storm is coming and they're running away from it. They're going this way. And so they're running with the storm and they get stuck in the storm for a long time. And I find a lot of loan officers do that. Hopefully it's none of you, where they just run and away and they get stuck in the muck for a lot longer, versus what the buffalo does is they feel the storm coming from the north and they run into the storm. So they're sprinting into it. And because of that, the storm passes over and then they pass through it faster. And so I'm always figuring out, what's the analogy? How can we actually figure out how to be the buffalo to get through the storm faster? What is it? What are the scripts? What are the strategies? What are the tools that we can use to do it? And so that's a lot of what we're going to teach here today.
Yeah, and the key is action. We're going to talk a lot about taking action, because action is where you generate results and how you win by noon. But just so you know, the good news is that there's projected to be over 5 million real estate transactions closed this year. I was just at the National Association of Realtors conference a few months ago, and there's a lot of optimism, even though it's been sort of a long winter, but spring is coming and it's almost here. So the good news is that you guys as LOs make a great living. On average, according to New York Times, you earn $4,350 per transaction. Now, some of you earn more, some earn less, depending on what area and market you're in. But the reality is, on average, if you just do 4 deals a month, your income is over $200,000 a year. So our goal and commitment is to help every single one of you get to that place where you're crushing it. Now, you probably recognize that referrals work, or you wouldn't be here, right? And they work because 90% of humans trust recommendations from people they know. That's just how we are wired. And the other interesting thing is, people are 400% more likely to hire you when you're referred to them. So I teach lead as a 4-letter word. I don't ever want a lead. I want a raving referral. I want somebody like Todd saying, you got to call Brandon because he's the best and he's going to take great care of you. That's what we're going to teach you in this conversation. And the other interesting fact is referred clients are 16% more profitable. So referrals is the way to go. Now, Todd, I know you're talking to realtors all the time. And when it comes to every realtor's number one need, in fact, how do you guys put this in chat? Put in chat what you think the number one need for a realtor is. If you surveyed all of the realtors that you're working with and calling on, and you ask them, hey, what's the number one business challenge that you have right now? What do you think that is? Go ahead and put that in chat if you would, and let's see what people say. Todd, you have this conversation with people all the time. So what are you hearing out there on the street?
Well, number one thing is they always want more business, right? More clients, more leads, however they view it in their mind. And then there's other things that they want as well. But the bottom line is they're trying to figure out how to make more income. And it takes that 5-letter word, client, in order to get there.
It's huge. And, I've asked over 2,000 people as I've done this live on stage, and I asked people what their number one need is, and they all, 90% say the same things. I need more business, more clients, more leads, more referrals, right? Or better marketing. Those 5 things are the same thing. They need help with their clients. So if you can show them an easy, fast, effective way to get more clients, now you got their attention. And that's a different conversation that most of the lenders that you're competing with are saying, right? So our question to you is, who is in your business alliance? Are you creating strong alliances with people who serve homeowners every day? Now, we focus this conversation around realtors, but it really goes beyond that to all of the other home service pros, people that are out there having conversations with homeowners each and every day. And I want to ask a question to you guys and find out from your perspective, how many referral partnerships do you have right now? So go ahead and put that. In fact, actually, let me launch this referral partner score and go ahead and answer that in the poll that we just popped on screen. This is how many people you have that send you at least one deal every 90 days. Okay, that's consistent client flow coming your way. So for some of you, it might be 0. You don't have anybody that's sending you business on the regular. Some might have 1 to 2, 3 to 5, 6 to 9, or 10 plus. So go ahead and just answer that poll real quick. We're going to shut it down in just a couple of seconds, and we'll share with you the information, which is really fascinating. I've never seen this before. So thank you for answering. 100% of you said 1 to 3. So every single person that's on this that answered the poll said you have 1 to 3 referral partners. And I realize, Spencer, we should make sure these match up in the future, please. Let's just make a note of that. When I've done this nationwide in the past, I've surveyed over 2,000 people, and 27% said they have 0. 32% say they have 1 or 2. So 59% of the thousands of people I've asked on this poll have said 0 to 2. So you guys are right in that sweet spot. Okay, so don't feel bad about it. And here's the really cool thing. On average, we've had 2% of people that said they have 10 or more referral partners, and those people with a follow-up question earn on average over $250,000 a year. So that's really our goal, is to help get you there. Todd, you've been in the business a long time, and I know referral partners have been a huge part of your success. So anything that you want to share there?
Well, I mean, we just know it's a critical piece of it, right? I mean, unless you're just the king or queen of social media and attracting your own, lead generation, having great referral partners is really what's built the business of every great loan officer that I know.
Well, and it's hugely profitable, isn't it? Do you want to walk us through this?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing when you just think of the numbers, right? We really are blessed to be in a business where every transaction can bring us a significant amount of money. And so really it's a math equation, right? If you have one partner that gives you one loan a month, right, that's $52,000 a year. And you can see as it multiplies up, right? 5, 260,000 a year, 10, over 500,000 a year, and 20 great partners referring you just one loan per month is over $1 million a year in revenue. And And so when you look at it, even on a quarterly basis, it's a significant amount of money, and it certainly can dramatically change your life, right? Considering all of you fall in between that 1 and 5, right? Between that 50 and that $250,000 a year in revenue, right? Just think about that. If you can double it up and be in the 5 to 10 category and be in the $250,000 to $500,000 range, what an impact it can have by just increasing 2x, not even trying to go 10x or some crazy number that some people might talk about.
Yeah, I really found this out firsthand in that first year and a half when I was in the mortgage business, because at the end of, I started in May. And so by the end of that second calendar year, I took a look, because I had made over $200,000, and I took a look and I did an audit on all of the files that I had closed and where each file came from and how many loans I had closed with each realtor. And when I calculated the commissions, I was astonished. I had one agent named Dana Berry, and Dana had referred me over $50,000 in commissions. Like, I had earned over $50,000 from one agent. So I can tell you it's totally possible. Todd, I know you've had some partners that you've made way more than that, but guys, this is the key. The more partners you have, the more loyal they are, the more files that you're going to be able to close. And quite frankly, the more families you're going to be able to serve. And it's really all about helping families move into homes. That's the business that you're in. So one of the things that we recognize and really recommend when it comes to helping realtors win more business, which also wins you more business, is to help them build strong referral partnerships. And one of the things that was fascinating to me is years ago, I had done a national, actually a global partnership with Prudential Home Services. And as part of that deal, they gave us their entire database of 55,000 realtors at that time. And they invited us to their national sales convention. And when we were there, I used to ask every realtor I could, when it comes to referrals, what's your number one challenge? And what they said really blew me away. They said, we give a ton of referrals away and we don't get many back. The reason I'm telling you this is that's what they're thinking. That's how they feel about referrals. And so if you can show them a way where they can get more referrals back, that's what's going to win their attention and ultimately their loyalty. So help them create referral partnerships. We've got a whole system, plan, platform we're going to show you as we walk through this, but help them get more referrals from realtors, financial advisors, CPAs, insurance agents. You see the list on screen. Todd, you had incredible success when it came to the property managers, didn't you?
Well, yeah, that was where I started. So the first referral partner I had happened to be a property manager. And it was an interesting opportunity because a property manager manages what? Houses, and those houses have landlords, owners who own those homes. And so it was really a great opportunity for me to get introduced to those, either someone who was going to be moving away from the home, who wanted to buy a home, no longer be a renter. But really for me, the number one referral I got was for homeowners that were looking to refinance. And so in my first full year of doing business, I had the great fortune of refinancing a couple of those homeowners who owned multiple properties, including one who owned over 20. So imagine being able to imagine the multiplication there of getting one referral from one client and doing over 20 loans at one time for them. That was a pretty amazing opportunity.
I think it's an untapped opportunity in industry. And guys, if you're not already building relationships with property managers, you should be. And that's one of the things that we help you do at HOA.com, because it's a gold mine. And most loan officers never think about how you can partner with a property management company. We're going to show you a way here through HOA.com, because obviously with HOA.com, we serve homeowner associations in addition to the homeowners themselves. So there's really three ways that we help people. We're going to walk you through this. Number one, we're creating online community pages for every neighborhood in America. Number two, a co-marketing engine. We're going to talk about that and how you can remarket yourself and be targeted to all of the homeowners in those communities. And number three, our concierge service. So those are really the three things that we're going to talk about and teach you to do. And it all starts with localizing your marketing. And I love this quote from Margaret Wheatley. She says, there's no power for change greater than a community discovering what it cares about. And so what if you were the guide? What if you were the person that actually brought that community together, just like Todd's realtors are doing? Todd just gave the plan to his realtors. His realtors are out there doing all the work. Todd, I don't think you're even showing up to that event, are you? Because you're out of town, right?
I'm going to be out of town, so a team member is going to go. I totally would have, because I feel like it's just a great opportunity to have fun and be part of the action, right? To meet the neighbors and then ask them questions. So I can't wait for the feedback.
It's awesome, and that's what we call hyper local social farming. And this is really the key, guys. You know, realtors have been farming for years, but mortgage lenders typically don't think about this. Todd, I'd love you to kind of share your story as you've been calling realtors and talking about this program. What's the response been for you?
Well, I keep joking about it because so far I'm batting 1,000. So of all the real estate agents that I've talked to and then introduced HOA.com to as an opportunity to work with my team, so far nobody has said no. And it's kind of like having all 5-star reviews. You don't believe it if you only see all 5-star reviews. You need to have, at least, 1, 4, 3-star review to make it believable.
No.
And I'm not just going after folks who my team has worked with or people that I'm best friends with. In fact, one of the people that has said yes, his best friend's a lender. He actually is a part owner of a national franchise of real estate companies, owns title companies, but his best friend is a lender. And I specifically went after him because I know in his little small community outside of Phoenix that he lives there and he's very passionate about the community, so much so that he just created a guide that had all of the different service providers in the area. He wanted to be like what the Chamber of Commerce does in some cities, but those are always full of ads. The only ads in his is him, his team, his title company, and his mortgage lender. And so most people would say, well, if his best friend's a mortgage lender and he does that much business with them, how and why would you go after him? Brandon calls it the wedge strategy. And so what I just said was, hey, what are you doing there? What is your focus? And he said, oh, well, gosh, I'm really trying to grow. And especially, he said, well, where specifically? And he gave me a couple of communities. And so which one of those is kind of the golden goose that you want to, mine those golden eggs? And he named it. I said, what if I had a unique strategy for you to become the hyper local social agent that everyone views as a community connector? Would you be open to working with my team on that? To which he said yes. And not only did he say yes, he invited me to lunch. He paid for lunch, which I don't know last time y'all had a realtor pay for lunch. And now we're going to work what he believes is the number one opportunity in this area, these 300 plus homes that he's going to help market and actually co-market with me and my team, not his best friend, the mortgage lender.
That is just awesome. I love that, because one of the things that you guys face is you're calling realtors, if you're cold calling agents or reaching out to somebody you don't know or don't know well, is they have a lender they work with 100% of the time, right? And so what we talk about is that wedge strategy. How do you get yourself into the conversation so that you're in at least a backup position? Because what I learned in my business is if I could just get on their short list and be option, even number 3, eventually, if I follow up, because the fortune's in the follow-up, they're going to start reaching out to me and give me a chance. And all I need is a chance. Once you have a chance to win their business, then you can prove your professionalism and your excellence. So what we're doing is we're creating these community pages for every neighborhood in America. And you see right here, it features you as the exclusive loan officer for that community. So we only select one mortgage lender that is the loan officer for, in this case, Santan Ranch. And then Matt invited Pam Dial and Jim Naraki, I'm probably saying that wrong, Naroki, invited them to be the community connectors for that community. And I know they're super excited. In fact, Todd, this is the couple you told me that's doing the shredding event, right?
No, that's a different couple. But what I love about this couple is that they've shared the ideas with the other couple, and they do a thing. They have a different name that they use in public, but they call it Drinks on the Driveway, where each month a different member of the community hosts it. It's BYOB, and they have their little red cups out there on the driveway, but bringing the community together. And so since Jim and Pam were one of the first people that we brought on, I said, hey, would you mind sharing with some of the other people that I brought on what you're doing that's successful in that group? And they've also started a Facebook group. They've got there's 1,800 people in there, 1,802 to be exact, in their community. And they've got 1,500 of them in their Facebook group. And so we've got just a great roadmap of how we're going to work with them to build it out even further and even better.
I love that. I love that. Well, in these pages, we're creating a community calendar so people can find out what's going on in the local neighborhood. And we've done a partnership with Home Scout where we have not over 90% of all the homes listed in MLS that are being added into this feed. And then information about that local community, including the events and news. And ultimately, our plan is to take content that our pros are producing. So if you're doing a video about interest rates or trends in the mortgage industry or financial freedom, whatever that is, we want to take your content and syndicate it and put it right into the local feed. But as you can see, it's a big SEO play because people are always looking for professionals by them, and they're searching these communities to see where they want to live. So it's a big community play, and it's a big SEO play. And I love this quote here. This was just from Ken Rohn. She said, he said, "We can't wait to get started. We really appreciate that you chose us." And that's kind of the response that you've got, Todd, hasn't it?
Absolutely. And Ken is the person who's doing the shredding event with his wife, Velma.
There we
And
go.
it's funny that you say that too, because I was talking to Shay, one of the team members I have this morning, and I asked him what was on his plate. And he says, "Oh, I'm calling a listing agent on one of the referrals that we got from Ken and Velma that they wrote an offer last night." And so this is how this works, because prior to this, although we knew them, we weren't their preferred lender who was number one on their list. And guess what? Now that we've partnered up with them, guess who's getting their referrals? My team.
Well, and here's what I love about this. This gives you consistent collaboration, right? Because one of the keys to winning referrals from realtors is how do you get that loyalty? Yeah, you start with a wedge to create that separation between them and their existing lender so that you get on that short list, and ultimately you want to be number one on their list, right? But that takes time. Let's just be real about it. But when you have consistent collaboration, that's what creates that loyalty. And so on these individual pro pages, it's all about you. The link goes straight to your 1003, and we create a badge. We give you a badge that you can use in your digital marketing to elevate your expert status. The page is all about you and who you are and what you do, and that's cool. But it's also about the communities that you serve. And from an SEO, search engine optimization perspective, this cross links and drives a lot of traffic. And it also features the trusted realtors and other home service pros that you're working with. So it's a big co-marketing engine, and it's really done for you, making it super, super easy. And then let me just talk about this, Todd, and then I want to ask you a question. But the other thing that we're doing, guys, is we're creating an automated co-marketing campaign we call a home safe report. Okay. And you might be using HomeBot or My Home IQ, which are great programs. And ours is kind of similar. It sends out an automated email monthly with the valuation of your home. And it's presented by you as the loan officer, or it could also be from your realtor to the clients that they serve. And what's cool is, yeah, it's got the history and the net worth of the property, the net equity in the property, what you've paid for principal and interest. But what I think is the most powerful part is this right here. It also features, this is why we call it automated co-marketing, because in addition to just promoting yourself to the homeowners in your database, you're also promoting your trusted team, the people that you know, like, and trust and recommend, the people that are sending you business, the people that you're building your business alliance with. Because the more that you promote them and the more they see you promoting them, what happens? It's called the law of reciprocity. If they want to stay on your list, they got to promote you back. And so the beauty is, while Stacy is promoting this to her clients, let's say she has 1,000 loan officers in her database, Jeff Holman is promoting Stacy to all of Jeff's clients and vice versa. So there might be 1,000 people in each of these people's databases. Now you've got 10,000 or more homeowners that are seeing your message on a regular basis. Isn't that cool, Todd?
You know, I love it. And it reminds me of the fact that, you know, we kind of talked about being the captain of the wealth team before, but it kind of goes beyond that, right? It comes beyond that to the blue collar workers as well. Our landscaper just referred a loan to my team. And so think about the fact that when you engage it and you're referring out a landscaper intentionally where you probably don't now, that you have this great opportunity. And Brandon, you call it 10 by 10, right? Because ultimately, you know, in each of these communities, they have different certified pros that each of the realtors have hand selected, asked us for feedback in some cases. And now all those folks are referring our team. And so I just think that that's one of the other pieces that has really been beneficial to us that I didn't necessarily put value on up front.
Yeah, and thank you for sharing that. When Todd's talking about the 10 by 10, our goal is to help you get at least 10 realtors who each activate their network and bring at least 10 home service pros. Now, what you've got is the lender, the only lender in this equation. If you bring in 10 realtors who each bring 10, which is 100 on that kind of second level, if you will, now you're the epicenter of 110 people, all serving homeowners on a regular basis. And you're being marketed, quite frankly, to all of the homeowners that they serve collectively. So that's the power of the automated co-marketing engine. The other thing that we recommend is that you're doing social impact events, community impact campaigns. So we do some done for you, including not only the campaign itself, but the social media graphics. So whether it's Christmas time and it's the best dressed home contest, or Halloween, a We've Been Booed campaign, Easter's coming up on Sunday. And so we've got the great egg hunt that you can literally take our blueprint with your realtors and coordinate an egg hunt in the neighborhoods that you serve. Now, again, this is consistent collaboration. Now you've got a reason to reach out to your realtors, but you're giving to them constantly. And the best part is the work's all done for you. So it is super, super easy, fun, powerful, family forward. We are a very patriotic and a very appreciative, grateful company. And our culture is, we have several different veterans that are on the team, including my business partner and co-founder, Thomas Evans. So we are a patriotic group. If that's not for you, then you may not be right for this, because we love our country and we're proud of the nation that we live in. Not always proud of everything that happens in it, but we're proud and grateful for the freedoms that we've been given. So these impact campaigns are real easy for you. You can copy, paste, and post. And this is one of the things I love. Todd, how do you feel about that?
Well, no, I mean, I think it's just really huge. Anytime that anything can be done for you, I think that's part of what, what gets in your way. And then it's the whole idea of having a reason to call. I feel like call reluctance is one of the other challenges. Great, I've got someone who I've talked to last week. What can I call them about this week? And so the fun part about this is there's always some upcoming opportunity to share with them and to collaborate together so that you're never at a loss for what to say.
I should have added, we just did a March Madness contest. And so somebody literally won a trip for two to Cancun by
Yeah, that wasn't me.
It wasn't you. No, it wasn't
No.
me either. I let the employees participate in this. Fortunately, it wasn't one of our team members that won, but we want to create that culture of collaboration and inclusion. So it was really cool. But anyway, it wasn't anybody of our team, but somebody won a trip for two to Cancun. And literally you get to give things away like that and use that, like Todd said, as a reason to call. So you've always got something new that is inspiring and family forward. And then the other thing that we're doing is a concierge service. This goes live here in April, and this will help homeowners with everything they need. Okay, so when homeowners move, they've got to change everything. I moved from Portland, Oregon down to Phoenix, Arizona a few years ago, and we didn't know anybody, right? So we had to find all these different service providers, and it was really stressful, quite frankly. So what we do is we make it easy for you to give this service to the homeowners that you serve. So when you've got a client that closes on a purchase, you're going to be able to give them this link. It's branded for you. So it's going to feature your photo, your name, your phone number, and then they'll have an assigned concierge team member that will help them from start to finish. Text, phone call, email, Zoom, they can work with that homeowner and we'll help take care of everything associated with the move. We'll change the address, set up your utilities, internet, cable, get quotes on insurance, moving, storage, everything that your clients need. And really, that's designed to create a wow factor. You need to be manufacturing stories in your business. Create these wow moments where your clients and your referral partners, like your realtors and the other home service pros, are just wowed and grateful to have chosen you. So all of this stuff stacks up, right? It's all extra that's included in a membership. We'll get into how that works in a second, but all of it is just value for you to give to the people that you're serving. Don't you love that, Todd?
Well, I do. And, it's one of these things that I'm excited it's launching because my team was paying $700 a month for this service with another company. And where we've used it as part of that initial loan conversation where you're trying to differentiate yourself from the other lender or lenders that people have spoke to. And I say, gosh, well, one of the things that we offer all of our clients is a concierge service that'll assist you with your move. And most importantly, what they're going to do is make sure that we get all your utilities turned on time. Because I don't know if you've ever had any friends or had it happen to yourself where you've showed up and the power wasn't on the day you want to move in. We will make sure that doesn't happen to you. And so you're already offering them an item of value up front that nobody else they're calling is doing for them. And so really it's just one more way for you to close more transactions by increasing your conversion rate.
Yeah, and get people talking about you. So it creates that raving referral. So you can go to hoa.com/LO and you can do the quick application. Just to let you know, we're working with a number of the top mortgage companies already. We've already gotten approved by several of these. So when you do the application, we'll let you know if yours is one of them. We just got approved by Nova Home Loans this week. So that was exciting. And I think Fairway should be coming ever close, Todd. I know you're kind of championing that. So thanks for that. But really, guys, the takeaway here is all of the things that we've been teaching you, whether you choose to be a part of hoa.com or not, you should be doing this. You should be farming the local communities. You should be co-marketing with the professionals that you're serving homeowners with, and you should have some sort of concierge service to really help them in a meaningful way. But the key is hyper-local social farming. The key is building trusted relationships and, quite frankly, being what I call the mayor of Murray Hill. Let me tell you that story real quick because this is fun. When I lived in Beaverton, Oregon, there were about 10 communities in this part of Beaverton called Murray Hill, and it was pretty affluent, higher end neighborhoods. And when you would drive any of these 10 communities, you would constantly see these for sale signs that said for sale, Brian Belair's, right? And we called him the mayor of Murray Hill because 2 out of every 3 for sale signs in any of these neighborhoods in Murray Hill said Brian Belair's. And I used to wonder, how does this guy win all of these listings? Because if you were going to sell your house, you felt like an idiot if you didn't at least call Brian Belair's and have a conversation, because that guy knew everybody. And as soon as those for sale signs would hit the market, usually there'd be a pending sticker or a writer, within days, because he had so many buyers coming to him, right? Because they wanted to be in Murray Hill, and he was the mayor of Murray Hill. So that's what we want for you and for your realtors. What if you had an easy way to go approach realtors with confidence, knowing that you've got something unique to give them, to offer them, and that creates consistent collaboration? That's what we're talking about at hoa.com. So we have 3 different badges that we have different programs for. Our program starts as little as $357 per year, so less than $1 a day. That includes 1 community. And then we have a mortgage expert program that's just under $4,000 for 2 years, which for most of you, you're going to recoup that investment in just the first loan. Just 1 loan is going to pay for that over and over. And that includes 10 communities. So wherever you fit best, we have financing as well, guys, just so that you know. But if you go to hoa.com/LO, you can do the application. We're going to ask you how much experience, what your volume is, so we know who you are, because ultimately we're endorsing you with our seal of credibility. And, really, again, like I say, just 1 transaction pays for most of this. Last thing I want to add is, if you're crushing it in the mortgage industry, we do have a done for you referral partner program. What that means is we'll actually pick up the phone, and we will call top producing realtors on your behalf. We'll call them and have a conversation about them being an hoa.com community connector. And if they're interested, we'll explain that the way that works is that we have them meet with you first, our partner lender in that community, to see if there's a fit and if you guys would work together well in that community. And if so, we schedule them right into your calendar. So you're going to give us a link to your calendar. If you don't already have one, we're going to help you set that up. And then we will actually schedule appointments with realtors that closed at least 10 deals last year directly into your calendar. Todd, I know that's something your team hasn't needed, but it's so cool. I talked to Stacy Dowling the other day. We just scheduled 9 for her, and then we just scheduled 5 for Art Aguilar down in Houston, Texas, and they are loving this.
Well, and I think it's amazing. And one of the things that some of you might be thinking is, oh, Todd, that sounds really easy for you. You've been doing this for 20 plus years. But the loan officer on my team who is now winning the referrals from that I mentioned, he's been in the business for 14 months, right? And so again, is if you have a system and you have a process and you have a value proposition, that's really what this is all about.
It is, right? And again, I said it twice already. It's about communities, co-marketing, and concierge. That's the key to your success. And we really do give you the easy button. If you have questions, go ahead and put those in chat. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of summarize some of the strategies and then what this package includes. And then we'll answer all your questions, and we'll stick around and make sure we get all of your questions answered. But number one, you're licensing exclusive communities. So when you select these communities, whether it's 1, 3, 10, or 20, we have 4 different packages ultimately, you will be the exclusive mortgage pro in that neighborhood. And somebody asked me yesterday, because I was just on a call with somebody out in Florida, and they're licensing 50 because they've got a team. And so they said, number one, do we have the first right of refusal on those communities at the end of the 2-year license? Can we make sure that we keep those communities? And yes, you can. So just know that. The other thing they said is, hey, we're licensed in a couple of states where they're on the border. Can we be licensed in multiple markets? And as long as you have the license and as long as you're really serving that community, we're fine with that as well. So just so you know, we do serve both HOA communities, and we're creating these for non-HOA communities as well. There's over 370,000 HOAs out there. So we're creating these pages for every HOA neighborhood, but also the non-HOA neighborhoods as well. What we do is we look at the subdivision in the tax records, okay? So we're creating community pages for every subdivision in America. Todd, anything you want to add to that?
Well, I mean, just think about that. I mean, every community in the whole US having access to those options is just, to me, it's kind of mind-boggling, but it just tells you there's so much opportunity for you to pick the place that you feel like was best for you, and your partner to pick the places that are best suited for them.
Yeah, and you want to start by asking your realtors, what market are you farming? So we're going to teach you the scripts. We do a coaching call every 2 weeks. We just got done with it. But the other thing that we do besides communities is co-marketing campaigns, both done for you and done with you. So I talked about, we'll cold call agents on your behalf, schedule appointments with those that are interested, but we also do the co-marketing campaigns for you, whether that's the Home Safe report that gets automatically emailed to every homeowner in your database, plus the database of your referral partners, and also those community impact events and campaigns. So a lot of co-marketing campaigns done for you. And then the concierge, and I started mentioning the coaching. So I talked about the concierge service. I think you guys all get that. The other thing that we recommend, and this is recommended, not required, but we recommend that you start your own business alliance. And we're going to teach you how to do it. It's really easy. If you think of BNI or LaTip or Chamber of Commerce, we think you should have your own. You should be the one that is inviting people to your network. We teach you how, we give you the scripts, and quite frankly, every month we give you an alliance agenda, because we want it to be more of a mastermind than a commercial, right? We don't want people, they're going to stand up and introduce themselves, of course, but then every month you're going to print out, and you can literally print it out and read it if you want. There's going to be a teaching point about building your businesses together, whether it's referrals, relationships, personality science. We've got the agenda already done for you. And then a series of questions that you'll be able to ask the people that you bring together: realtors, insurance agents, financial advisors, painters, plumbers, HVAC, all the pros that you know. And the brilliance of it is that you're formalizing your referral partnerships, and you're activating not only your network, but the networks of the people that you trust and want to do more business with. So that's one of my favorite pieces, Todd, and we're having a lot of people have a lot of success. And, I know that's one of the things you're excited about as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, again, anytime you can have one more thing that's done for you, anytime you have one more opportunity to bring people together, then there's magic, right? Anytime, it's all in the proximity, it's all in the relationship piece. We're doing a lot of this Zoom stuff, but this whole idea of everyone getting together is just great.
Well, and it's consistent connection and consistent collaboration. That's the key to raving referrals, guys. You can't just meet somebody at a network event and expect they're going to send you business. That's not the way it works. Your business, your job is business development. If you're not writing a loan application, the rest of your time is being spent in business development. We're just giving you the blueprint, the plan, the scripts, and the coaching. So twice a month, Todd and I do Win by Noon with Raving Referrals group coaching. Is exclusively for the mortgage industry. Between the two of us, we've closed $1.5 billion in transactions in the mortgage world. So we kind of know a thing or two about it. And then we bring on guest experts, like the woman we brought on today has closed 325 million. And she had some great tips on prospecting, didn't she, Todd?
She did. And I think that's, to me, it's the fun part, because I really enjoy the fact that we have an opportunity for us to sharpen each other, us to learn from others, us to learn from each other, and to share the scripts and the strategies and what's working, because that's really, in the end, what it's all about. It's all about how can we all grow together.
100%. And that's why we give you the Raving Referrals training. So we're actually going to send you a Raving Referrals book when you join the network. And depending on which program you're in, we may even send you more than that, right? With our mortgage expert program, we send you 11 books because it's about building 10 referral partnerships. So we send one book for you and one for each of your 10 referral partners. Plus, we have a whole online training system where you'll actually get certified as a Raving Referrals expert. You can add that into your LinkedIn profile and everything else that you're doing. And then we do biz growth coaching once a week as well. And that's general, that's for everybody, not just the mortgage industry. So we provide a lot of value to the people that we serve. And then one of the things that you may be asking is, okay, I can see how I can integrate this into my marketing and send this out to my homeowners, but how is HOA.com going to be activating the networks? Because our goal is that every single homeowner in America knows about HOA.com by the end of this year, 2023. So one of the things that we're going to be doing, we talked about the Home Safe report. We've already talked about that. That's the automated monthly co-marketing valuation email that'll go out from our pros to all of the homeowners they serve. And when you look at the collective impact of that, it'll be massive. Now, we have over 260 million consumer records in our database feed. So we've got big data on every single homeowner in America, including name, email, address, phone number. We know if they have children. We know how old their kids are. We know their average income, their property value, their net worth. We know their social channels. So we know all of that data. And right now we're working on our plan to activate that so that we can partner with you guys and help you really create strong relationships with every homeowner, because that's a win-win-win. And so this all fits together because we're in for your success. The more successful you are, the more successful we are. So we all win together. And that's part of our lifetime client campaigns. We're also building community news, both email and a direct mail campaign. We're creating a Safe Kids Now, like a safe zone in each community. So if some kid is being bullied, or God forbid worse, by maybe a parent, step parent, sibling, we're going to have a place for them to go. And we're working with the woman who created the Neighborhood Watch campaign. So she's provided us her blueprint, and we're working with her to create that safe zone in every neighborhood in America. Neighborhood deals and discounts, referral rewards and rebates. So there's a lot there. And like Todd, I love how you say this. It's kind of the easy button because it's done for you.
Well, it's done for you. There's a lot there. And some of you might say, well, gosh, neighborhood deals and discounts doesn't resonate with me, or Safe Kids doesn't resonate with me. That's okay. It's not about you. It's about the people that you're looking to partner with. And you're trying to make sure that you've got all the different things that might be important to them. And you might have that one thing that you didn't think about that is a hook to them. And so that's really what I love about all the the things that we've put together, and the fact that's why I call it a relationship platform.
It really is. And I changed this, Todd. So I'm not going to show you the videos, guys, but I'll just share with you a couple of people that have been getting results. We've shown you Matt Baker. And Todd, will you share when Matt made calls on day one, what happened?
Well, yeah, I challenge him. So some of you who don't know me don't know that I believe in leading by example. And so when people were struggling with making these appointments, I did 100 calls in one day, 3 times on Zoom, unmuted, on video, so that our members could see what I was doing and learn from me. And I challenged Matt at the same time to be making phone calls. And so that day, as he was making phone calls, he didn't just get 1, he didn't just get 2, he didn't get 3, he got 4 loan applications while he was making those phone calls to people that he was offering HOA.com to as a partnership tool.
I love that. I love that. I was just up in Denver with Stacy Dowling, and actually she came out to Vegas for your Modern Mortgage Summit. It was great seeing her there. She's been with us for a year in our pilot up in Denver. And so she's got over 19 referral partners now as a result of this platform. So we just scheduled 9 new calls with top producing realtors for her a couple weeks ago. And she and I have a call tomorrow. So I'll find out how that's gone. But also, I love this quote too from Daniel Herrera. He says, "It's given me the confidence to cold call new realtors who are excited and said yes." And guys, you need the confidence, right? That's one of the things that creates that call reluctance that Todd talked about. So this will give you confidence because you'll have a turnkey system, you'll have scripts, you'll know what to say. But he also said, I received 2 leads from one realtor in just the first few days of signing up. And that's what we want for you. So once you're approved, we'll create your page. We'll help you you'll nominate realtors and other referral partners as community connectors and start to activate your network, which is super important. We're also going to send you the Win by Noon Raving Referrals Profitability Planner and Productivity Planner. I guess it's both, Todd.
I was going to say, I really like that new name on it, Profitability Planner. I'm gonna trademark that. All right, I'm ready.
I think so. Productivity and profitability planner. I think it's absolutely true. And what's cool about this, and guys, I use mine every single day. This is where I live. This is how I track my results. And you'll be able to see at the end of the day how many calls you've made, how many connections you had, how many referrals you've received. And the whole key, Todd, is doing the most important things by noon every day so that you can do what in the afternoon?
Whatever the heck you want. But really meet with your realtor partners. I mean, that's ultimately what it comes down to. And, I won't bore everyone with the details and the science on that, but I think we've all gotten to the end of our day and realized that we didn't accomplish our most important priorities. And I know how I feel when I get those top 1, 2, or 3, or whatever number that is for you, items on that list accomplished first thing every day.
It's huge. It's huge. So go to HOA.com/LO, select the program that fits for you. We'll do a one-on-one onboarding session with you, and then you're going to claim your desired communities, and we'll help you activate your network. And then last thing before we wrap, and you're welcome to ask questions, put that into chat if you have any questions. I just want to share with you our vision, because we created our vision of the companies that we want to partner with. Right? The companies that we want to do business with. We just did a partnership on Monday with Thumbtack. So that partnership is finalized, deal is signed. We're working on integrating their 200,000 pros into our network. And I love Thumbtack and I love what they're doing because their user experience is really great for the homeowner. So we're excited about that partnership. And I'll tell you, there are 12 of these brands that we're already in conversations with. 3 of these companies are going to the contract stage right now. So I just want you to see the vision of how big this is going to be. You are going to look back and be so glad that you came onto this masterclass, because a year from now, right, when you've utilized the tools, you've taken action, and you're winning by noon, you're going to have that financial freedom that you desire and deserve. So just thank you. Oh, lastly, I was just last night with the #1 RE/MAX agent in 2014, #1 in the world. Right now, he owns all of the RE/MAX franchises in the Caribbean. And so, Todd, I think you're signing up to go down to Belize and visit his resort firsthand, aren't you?
I can't wait. I can't wait. He's got a couple of upcoming spots that I'm not able to take advantage of, and he's going to be doing some trips in the fall. But I'm always a student, right? I always want to learn, and have that knowledge to share with the referral partners that we work with and are trying to attract. And I can think of no better way than helping them grow wealth by being knowledgeable about what it is and then hanging out with those other folks so I can learn from them and tell and share those stories.
100%. And I don't think I've ever told you this, but my mom used to be a realtor, and one of the first companies she worked with was Remax. And John is introducing us to the CEO of Remax. He's going to Chicago in 2 weeks' time. And so we were just texting this morning because he wants to take us to Remax personally and help get that deal done. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, you can call or text us at 623-253-5700. We are ending right on time. Thank you for joining us. However, we'll stick around. If you have any questions that you'd like to ask, we want to stay here until you get all of your questions answered. But of course, you can call or text us at that number, and my team will be there to support you. So thanks for your time. And again, I want to recognize you for working on your business. Todd, anything you want to offer?
Well, I would just say, you know what, you've been here, you've learned. I would suggest, fill out the form, right? We've got that right there, hoa.com/LO, and just take it to that next step of learning, right? It's not a high pressure sales call. It's a sharing information conversation so that you can determine if this is a good fit for you. And ultimately, I think that's what we all need right now is what is that one little extra tool that we can invest in that'll give us that one extra gear that we need to take our business up to the next level as we go through what's going to be a difficult year.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And guys, get out there and build relationships. That's where referrals come from. The deeper that relationship, the more referrals you get. Create that consistent connection and consistent collaboration. Create a reason why you're always in conversation with these people, and they'll be happy to hear from you because every time you call, you're calling with something that's going to help them, something that's going to help them win big to expand their business. That's what it's all about. We're here to help you, help the realtors, and help homeowners. And so thank you for what you're doing. We're on a mission to connect homeowners to professionals they can trust, and we would appreciate it if you would consider being one of them. Thank you so much. Have a great day, guys.
Thanks, everyone.